Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Naruto chapter 665. And this one was interesting, I'll say. Interesting, and surprising. The way it starts off is Black Zetsu. He tries to leave Obito and go to where Madara is. Alright, he tries to leave Obito's body, but he can't. Obito pulls him back on so that he can stay alive and talk to Madara and ask some questions. So, how exactly Obito went about keeping Zetsu on him, I'm not sure. Maybe it was just mental strength. I don't know. He's been through a lot at this point, so I don't know how he has the strength to keep Black Zetsu on him, but somehow he does. And he starts this conversation with Madara, and he asks what, according to Madara, what is he to him? And that's interesting because the Obito from before didn't give a crap about Madara, really. He just like, he pulled one over on Madara and said, no, 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 you're not going to become the Jinchuriki. I am. I'm the one who's going to use Infinite Tsukuyomi. Alright, you know, he didn't really care about Madara. He probably didn't even have any plans for reviving him in the first place. When Kabuto showed Obito Madara's corpse, he wasn't exactly like jumping up for joy. He was like, he was mad that at the possibility of Madara actually being brought back and seeing that Obito didn't have any intention of reviving him. So, you know, a previous Obito didn't give a crap, but now he's asking, you know, what am I to you? It's like, what? Like, it just caught me off guard. It's like, it was just weird. And Madara gave a surprising answer. He says, you know, you're not Obito Uchiha, you're Madara. Alright, like everybody who fights against this world is Madara. Pretty much. He's treating Madara not as himself, but as a cause, as a movement, as an ideal. He's saying that Madara, it's a concept. Madara is bigger than you. Madara is bigger than me. Madara is the cause that we're fighting for. That's kind of what he's saying here. So that was actually kind of interesting. I found that interesting how he said that. And he ended up starting to tell this story about chakra and the Sage of the Six Paths and everything, and how originally chakra was but chakra was meant to connect people. And we see this drawing on the last panel, the bottom panel of the page where Madara starts the story, and you see the Sage of the Six Paths at the top with this Obito style staff, because Madara and Obito have two different staff designs. You see the Sage of the Six Paths with the Obito staff design on top, and he has like the Naruto chakra QB jacket on, and with the same symbols on the stomach too. And it's chakra's being passed to other people who also have these same symbols and things on their stomachs. So that was kind of how Naruto gave his chakra to everybody to connect them. He connected everybody, because you remember how Naruto was remembering his past and those thoughts got sent to everybody. Same with Hashirama, his thoughts got sent to everybody as well because his chakra connected people. That was the original purpose of chakra. Okay, and so that people could understand each other without words. That was another thing Madara mentioned, and incidentally, that's something else that Naruto has been able to do. Back in the Five Kage Summit and in the Valley of the End, he and Sasuke were able to understand each other without words. They were able to clash in battle, or Rasengan against Chidori, and hear each other without words. Pretty much, they were able to communicate through their fight, through their battle, through their attacks. Okay, so reading Madara talk about all this, it kind of reinforces the fact that Naruto is, well, not necessarily the reincarnation of the Sage of the Six Paths, because I don't think reincarnation is an actual thing in Naruto, but more like Naruto is the one who has inherited the ideals and the duties of the Sage of the Six Paths. He's the one he's inherited the will of the Sage of the Six Paths. There we go. The will of fire. The will of fire. Right? He's inherited the will of the Sage of the Six Paths, just like he inherited the will of Jiraiya and Nagato and Minato and all those guys, Obito, all these guys. All right. So kind of reinforces that point. And then after that, Madara ended up talking about chakra and the turn it ended up taking because of all these people who got it in Kaguya. They started to use chakra for power instead, and because of that, chakra ended up corrupting people. Chakra gave excuse me, chakra gave people power, and people who have power, they fight to keep that power. That is true. That is the truth. That is fact. Okay. I'm taking a class right now called Psychology of Prejudice, and I had an exam today actually. Well, yesterday. Well, at this point it was yesterday, but I had an exam about it, and one of the things we were learning about was how, of course, it involved like stereotypes and prejudice and discrimination stuff. But one of the things we were learning about is power and how people are willing to put other people down and hurt them just so that they can maintain their level of power or get higher up. Okay, so this is truth. The stuff that Madara is saying right now is truth. Okay, chakra gives people power, and power corrupts people, therefore chakra corrupts people. So in order to fix that, he wants to create a world devoid of chakra, none. And the one who will create that world is him. And so he's trying to say, by saying all this stuff, he's trying to talk no jutsu Obito. And Obito starts to walk over toward him. So Gar, Kakashi, and Minato, they decide, oh, this isn't good. So they try to stop him, and Minato actually uses Sage Mode here. So he's a Sage. I mean, he summoned Gamabunta before, right? Or he's summoned Toads before. So I guess I shouldn't really be too surprised. But yeah, he uses Sage Mode. Unfortunately, it's not very helpful. Madara cuts off his last arm. He had a Rasengan. Madara cuts off his arm. Then starts doing roundhouse kicks. He kicks Minato's arm, and then kicks Minato himself. So Minato gets sent into Gaara, and Minato's arm with the Rasengan goes into Kakashi. So Kakashi ends up getting hit by Rasengan. That was crazy. That was crazy and epic. That was awesome. Alright, not awesome for Minato and Kakashi and Gaara, but for that was pretty epic on Madara's part. It really was. So now with them taken care of, Obito continues to walk towards Madara, and he acts like he's going to go take his hand, but he doesn't. Instead of doing that, he actually stabs Madara. Okay, through the chest with his hand. Like, okay. Okay. He stabs Madara through the chest with his hand, and I guess he started taking his chakra. I guess because he started to be able to he started to form those the combination of all 5 changes in chakra nature. What is it called? Light and dark jutsu, something like that. He started to do that stuff, which he can't do unless he has the power of the Sage of the Six Paths. Well, not the power of the Sage of the Six Paths, but the power of the 10 Tails. That's what he needs to be able to do that. And so I would assume he took some of Madara's chakra, and at the end of the chapter he ends up getting his staff back. So, he didn't take Madara's staff from him. He got his own staff back. I think they both have staffs now. Because like I said earlier, Madara's staff and Obito's staff have 2 different designs. Obito's staff is the one with the staff, and it has the circle on top and has the rings around it. Madara's staff is like it's open. It's like a horseshoe or like a crescent moon or something like that. Like it's not even close to being the same. So they have 2 different designs. And Obito had his staff, not Madara's. So yeah, that's how the chapter ends. And before Obito does that, he has some words to say, and he has some thoughts as well, which I thought were kind of interesting. He was comparing Madara's views to Naruto's, Madara said that he let Obito walk in front of him, and Obito thought, along with Madara, that someone who is of Hokage stature, someone who is going to make a change, has to be willing to walk over the corpses of their comrades, which Madara would have to do if he was sending Obito ahead of them, and then Obito died, then he'd climb over his corpse, you know. So, in that sense, he was comparing, he was looking at that, and then comparing it to Naruto, and Naruto saying that, you know, no, a Hokage doesn't, a Hokage goes through all that stuff for the people that follow him. Okay, the people literally follow him. He walks in the Hokage, or he or she. The Hokage is the one who walks in front of everybody. All right, they're the ones who absorb all this damage and everything, so that their followers, the people who are depending on them, have as little done to them as possible. You know, so it was interesting, kind of seeing those two ideals compared. Uh, Obito's former view of a Hokage and Madara's current view of a Hokage compared to Naruto's view, where one would actually make Madara look like a pretty good Hokage, and the other one would make him look like a bad Hokage because he sacrifices his own men, which is not something a Hokage should do. Um, so you know, it was interesting. I mean, I don't know where Kishi's going with this. With Obito, like what if Black Setsu is stuck to him, then that means Obito's not gonna die. If Obito's not gonna die, it means he's gonna fight Madara, but how much can he actually do? How much chakra did he get back? What techniques can he use from his Jinchuriki, from his old Jinchuriki state? Like what can Obito do? I don't know what his abilities are right now. Can he still use his Mangekyo Sharingan? Can he use the Rinnegan? Like, does he have any chakra at all remaining from when he was like how much chakra overall does he have left? Because even if he can use all these techniques, if he doesn't have any chakra left, then it's pointless. So like how like I have a lot of questions about that. Um, well, Obito's definitely going to start fighting Madara. Um, he's not going to win, but he's at least going to probably hold. Maybe he's going to, if he can keep Black Zetsu there, maybe he can manipulate the Nine Tails chakra that Zetsu has, or maybe he can even give it to Naruto. Um, I doubt Obito's going to get wrecked as badly as as like Minato and Kakashi and Gaara. Um, though, I mean, he's pretty worn out though. So he even then he's like barely standing up. He's like supporting himself with the staff and everything, you know. So I mean, I don't know where Kishi's taking this. We still don't know who the guy at Sasuke is. If it really is Kabuto, which I have my doubts about, like I said, but even if it really is Kabuto, what jutsu can Kabuto use? Can he still use Edo Tensei? If he can, then you know he that would be pretty helpful. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be pretty helpful. Just walk around the battlefield looking at all the corpses and then just start doing Edo Tensei, you know. Though I'm sure most people wouldn't be very happy about that. Yet another bad guy who's becoming a good guy and helping the alliance, like Obito and Kabuto both. I mean, these two were responsible for killing quite a few of these guys' comrades. They probably don't like the idea of them fighting together. Obito is the worst offender of them all, though, because he's legitimately screwed the world up. Out of every single villain in Naruto, Obito has done the most. His resume as a villain is incredibly long. This dude, literally every single major event in history that happened after his birth, this dude's been involved in. And most of them he was responsible for. So the effect this guy has had on the world is ridiculous. And all these guys in the Alliance probably, and deservedly, they hate him. And they think he deserves to die. Which, really? Alright, it's done. Alright. They think he deserves to die. And he does for all the things he's done. He's killed, how many people has he killed? Seriously, right? Like, but the way he was acting at the end of this chapter, it's like he was a baby face, like he was a good guy. Do you think, like, how are people supposed to react to that in the story? I mean, like, this guy was just trying to kill you. Now he's got this big smile on his face, fighting against the guy who's now trying to kill you. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, I don't. Obito should not be acting like a good guy. It's fine for him to have been talking to Jutsu because out of all the villains in Naruto, he's one of the ones who should be talking to Jutsu. Him, Nagato, and Gaara. Those are like the three who legitimately should have been talking to Jutsu. But even though he was talking to Jutsu, he still shouldn't be acting like a good guy. He should be acting like the type of guy who realizes that he screwed up and that he has to atone for what he's done, and that he will, whether he survives or not, he will help try it. He will try and help these guys survive as well as possible by holding Madara back, or something like that. But right now he's acting like a total good guy, like he's never done a bad thing in his life, which isn't true. So I don't know. It's kind of minor, but well, no, not really. But it kind of annoyed me, but not too big of a deal, I guess. Um, as far as the chapter overall, um, I don't even know. I don't even know what to rate this chapter. Um, Madara was epic. The story he was telling actually gave us a lot of information. The Obito stuff was like, eh. Um, oh, so it did progress the story though in a way where now I don't know what's going to happen. So I mean, he's going to hold Madara off for a little bit, but I mean he can't win. Those ninja tools, like, is Tenten going to do something with them? Does she still have the fan? Like, does she still have the fan? Like, I just don't know where the story is going to go now. So it's, I guess it was good in that. Well, I'll give the chapter 7.5 out of 10. How about that? The Madara stuff was good. The Obito stuff was, like, kind of cool. So yeah, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. And yeah, that's it. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.